Continuing on with MotoAmerica's 21 in 21. Since the inception of the Superbike class all the way back in 1976, we've had 21 Superbike champions. So we thought we'd take some time and talk to the ones we can and introduce you to the ones that you may not know. So let's introduce you to number 12, the world famous Troy Corser. Hey, Troy, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, it's good to have you on, Troy. So let's get right down to it. 1994 champ, you won 3 races, Fast By Ferracci Ducati. Take me back in time, Troy. Where were you in your career when you came to the United States?
Well, pretty much had just left Australia and I'd won the Australian Superbike Championship the year before coming to the AMA. The opportunity actually come up through Barry Sheen. He contacted Geraldo Ferracci and said, I've got a young fast kid out here in Australia who's just won the championship. Can I bring him to Daytona and have that test ride that Ferracci used to run at the end of every year? Top 6 riders. I think the other 5 were American riders, Colin Edwards, Jamie James, from memory, a few other guys. And whoever got the fastest lap got the ride that year. And I was lucky enough to get the fastest lap, so I got the ride. So it was, to go on to win the championship off the back of that was, very special.
You've been around modern day Superbike racing. What was it like in 1994 compared to the things that we see today?
Probably the power of the bikes, to be honest. I think 600s have got as much horsepower now as what our Superbikes used to have back then. So they probably were a bit tamer to ride, I guess, back then at the time. But I think the tyres and stuff and the suspension have all did come on a long way from there. Electronics, absolutely. We didn't really have that much electronic system at all on the 888 on the Ferracci bike. So it's moved on quite a lot, mainly the electronics for myself.
Any good stories from 1994, racing story maybe, or I don't know, maybe a rental car story that you want to share with us?
You got to bring that one up. The old rental car from Brainerd, I think it was. Organised to get a chance to go out there, and I'd never been to the track before like other circuits that year, and lucky enough the circuit director said, look, I'll let you go out and do 3 laps in the rental car just so you know where you're going tomorrow. And I convinced Ferracci to jump in the car with me. I had his youngest son in the back as well. I had a friend of mine, Nigel, who come and travel with me for that year. They were in the back seat, and long story short, we ended up off the side of the track and car ended upside down, and everyone walked away from it. But I know there's still photos circulating around from that little episode. But there was numerous events, but off-track stuff was great fun. You know, Kevin McGee was over there racing that year as well with the Smoky Joe's guys. So I had a fellow Aussie there to go and have a few beers with and stuff like that and create some chaos. But it was a fantastic time. I enjoyed it.
Any big races stand out in your mind from that season?
For me, actually the Daytona race, the first race of the year, when I turned up and I finished second behind Scotty, and Eddie Lawson finished third. So for me, that was probably my biggest race of the year for myself, and to get pole position at that race and come away with the Rolex and all that was probably the biggest one for me. And then obviously the last race of the year, the way it all turned out, I had my mum over there watching at the time, and race didn't go as planned as what we thought, but managed to walk away by 1 point in the championship. So it was pretty special to claim it.
And where, after your AMA Superbike career, where did racing take you?
Pretty much after I won the AMA Championship, Barry Sheen was still involved with me. He wasn't my manager, but he was trying to help me get placement and stuff. So he contacted Castiglione brothers from Ducati and said, look, I want to bring Troy over and do a wildcard race for the end of the season. They gave me an opportunity to go to Donington Park, Mugello. I think I'd done 3 races that year, the last 3 of the World Championship. And I got a couple of podiums and stuff like that. So that was pretty much my next step, was to go to wild card. I think I finished 11th in the championship in 3 rounds. Scored some good points, and to stay there the next season and continue, and to finish second in that next season was a big achievement, and then to go on and win it the season after that. So pretty fast growing steps.
So where do we find you in the world now? I mean, obviously you're looking good, you're looking fit, you're getting ready to get back on a motorcycle and strap the leathers back on, or what's going on in your life?
Well, since I've stopped racing, which was like end of 2011, I was racing with BMW 9, 10, and 11, helping develop the new S1000 RR. When I decided I was going to stop racing. I decided myself at 40, I'm going to stop racing. BMW were very supportive of that, and they said, well, if you'd like, would you like to stay on and do some race school stuff for us, guest appearances? So I started doing that, worked with the Race Academy, it was called, a Dutch company. Done about 3 or 4 years with them guys, and then ended up branching off from them guys, building my own. I've actually got my own Corser racing school, Europe, traveling around Europe at the moment. Still with the Dutch team. Same instructors I've worked with for 10 years, so it works really well. Obviously, at the moment with COVID, I can't get there at the moment, but the boys can still go set up. They're over that side of the world, so they can still drive to the place, set up. I've done about 5 events this year, and it works really well. I really enjoy it. It gives me a chance to get back on a bike, go out, burn around on the bike, give a bit of development stuff back to BMW as well on stuff I think we could improve the bike chassis-wise. And yeah, so it's good. So it's like 45 riders come for 3 days, and we ride around Mugello, all the tracks I've raced at World Championship level, and just give them some tips on how to improve and be safer riders. And it's working really well. Like I said, I do hundreds of laps a day when I go out. I'm riding and when I'm doing these schools. So I do more riding now on a bike than I did when I was racing.
That's so funny. Well, listen, man, congratulations on all the success and 1994 Superbike champ. From a personal note, it was really nice to watch you race. I was there the very last race of the year, rode Atlanta to watch you wrap up that championship, and it was a good scrap. And thanks for the years of entertainment across the board and all your racing career. And we appreciate you taking us time to spend with us.